Welcome back to the Graphite Curve Studio. Today we'll be doing Liza Kovalenko. At the time of recording, my original video has 7,784 views. It was one of my first breakout hits, back before I had a microphone, and one of my most viewed video was Make Turney with 12 views. I've skipped to the rendering phase as this is the most entertaining part, and where we get to see the drawing come to life. What you see here is the shortened version of working on the background. This area is meant to be out of focus. The area just behind her and next to her head seems to be a window with plants across a courtyard seen from the second story. At least that's what I understand. Once these areas are in place, I can begin with the hair. She has beautiful brown hair, and parts of it shine in the sunlight that's coming through the windows. Rendering hair has become a lot easier due to how many times we've drawn long hair on this channel. There's just something so beautiful about women with long flowing hair, and I'm hoping that I capture that here. Drawing the hair is simply a process of laying tone, pulling up the highlights, and adding back the darker strands. Repeating this technique gives the hair depth and volume when viewed up close. I understand that the camera may be too close to really see the big picture. I'm sitting about twice the distance from the drawing as the camera is, but the arm that holds the camera is connected to the desk that the easel is setting on, and it doesn't really reach far without serious bending. And I wouldn't be very happy if the camera fell, so we'll keep it this close for now. When starting on the face, I use a 2H pencil. We lay down some tone and blend with a blending stump. This blending stump is going to be a big part of the drawing, as it not only lets us lay down large areas of tone quickly, but also allows us to slowly darken areas little by little. To get that full understanding of what is needed to capture the likeness of her face, I felt that it was necessary to complete the other side of her hair. With a blending stump and a 2B mechanical pencil, we can make short work of her hair. Well, for you it was short. No YouTube video under 6 hours is truly going to capture what it's like to undertake such a project. We begin working on the features of the face by laying down the eyebrows. And as I sit here editing this, watching myself draw, I think to myself, no, you're doing it wrong. But at the same time, looking over at the finished drawing, I know that it all worked out in the end. I wonder if any other artists out there question their own process while editing. If you're an artist out there, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Her eyes, for me, are the most intimidating part of the drawing. Eyes are the window to the soul, as they say. And if you mess that up, it could look like a totally different person. She has beautiful hazel eyes, and without that, that thing that makes her special, this drawing just won't look like her. And with 1.2 million followers on Instagram alone, lots of people know what she looks like. That means there's no way of hiding it if we get it wrong. With the eyes coming together, they're there, but they're not perfect. Yet. I move down to the cheeks and the nose area, hoping that working on these will tell me what's missing. For now, we'll just focus on filling in the rest of the face. Her lips are quite plump, which is something I never noticed before. I want to add a hint of a smile. It's just something that I love to do. A little bit of her top teeth are showing, and as always, we need to be careful with how we divide them. I've stated in previous videos, and it continues to hold true here, that if your tooth divisions are dark, they will look like gaps instead. Now that the lips are in place, I place the shadows around them. This lets us know that her skin tone needs to be darker. We will carefully add little by little, trying to reach our destination without overshooting. I'll add some shadow to the whites of her eyes, as this gives the eyes some realism. With the value of her skin changing, I change up the lips just a little bit. With every little bit added, we get closer and closer to her likeness. I work on her hair, darkening it and adding detail. We'll continue by adding a dark shadow under her hair. With this added, we can add more to her skin tone. With the head in place, we can move on to the background on the right side. This will provide more information on the value of the hair and if we need to change anything. I'll use a ruler to make sure that the lines of the door frame are straight. Then with the background good for now, we can continue with Liza, who is the main focus of this drawing. I'll start with her shoulder, as the information from her face will tell us where to go in terms of value. Same as before, some pencil here and there, blended with a stump to darken. I remember to keep the bra strap clean, as she's wearing a white bra, If we don't clean it early and often, it could lead to problems down the line. We continue to work on her shoulder as it seems to be the darkest part of her skin. While working on her back, it's important to keep these highlights in mind that appear on her upper back. More work and we can clean up the strap again. This time we'll add detail, like the ring and slider that are used to adjust the straps. I'll continue to darken her back to really make the bra pop. Some detail to her armpit area, and we can move on to her hand. Along with faces, hands are the hardest, but are just as rewarding when done right. I believe that it's all the small muscles in the hand and the wrist that make the hand so intimidating. At this scale, the details of the hand are somewhat challenging to draw. Details like the shadow of the nails, the wrinkles on the knuckles, are very difficult to place and not make look like a mess. We will then connect the hand and the shoulder by filling in the arm. The plants in the background will tell us how dark to make the arm. I work on the bra as each part informs the next part, which is why I'm so fascinated by the artists out there, drawing celebrities one piece at a time, almost like a paint by numbers. To me, something fishy is going on there. But this video is not about that. We fill the bra with a subtle value, and then erase back the embroidered design, laying in the shadows after. I place in the indication of a rib cage before continuing on the bra band. She has a bracelet on her arm that looks like a nail that's been curled up. Some subtle tones are used to indicate the hand that's further away. We continue with a bit of detail in the hand. and darken the front-facing arm. I'll use a ruler to straighten the lines of the writing behind her. And the plants there too. The whole area consists of tones, added by the blending stone, to indicate the railing, the plants, the chair with the swirl. It took me a long time to realize that this was a chair, similar to the rose in the Valentine's video. With the right side of the background done, we can move on to the back and arm. It had been 2 days since I last worked on this drawing. I was changing the spark plug on a lawnmower for someone who needed help. In the process, I smashed my index finger into the chassis, and it caused a few small cuts and bruises. This was the reason for the 2-day delay. I then went to work on the back, remembering to keep the highlights that are present. I was scared that I wasn't going to finish the drawing in time for the weekly upload, but I had to push through and get it done. Drawing often takes a long time, but it's honestly one of the most rewarding things that I do. To see many beautiful drawings fill my studio one by one. Perhaps one day I'll do a studio tour when I reach 1,000 subs, so subscribe so you don't miss it when we get there. The arm that is hidden behind her I know has a tattoo, and given that it's not part of her aesthetic, I don't add it. If you check out her Instagram account, you can see that she even hides it behind her most of the time. I don't like tattoos on women, with few exceptions. Those being Rhea McCarthy, former Suicide Girl, and Liza Silver. Their tattoos are part of their character, and in some way adds to who they are. Most of the other models out there who have tattoos have some of the most random stuff tattooed on them. I know they mean something to them, but they don't mean anything to us, and it takes away from their natural beauty. So when I can leave out tattoos, I will. That's just my opinion. If you feel the same or different, let me know in the comments. And now comes the moment you've probably all been waiting for, or probably just skipped to. Which is probably her most famous feature, which I believe she's probably quite proud of, given how many of her most popular pictures are featuring her glutes. Rendering her butt mostly has to do with getting a feel for the roundness, understanding the curve. Similar blending is used as the rest of her skin, only it's important this time to keep her panties clean. We'll darken the panty lines and turn the other cheek. Same technique here, lots of blending. Only this time we remember that this cheek is in the shadow of the other, and is therefore darker. It's important to mention the intergluteal cleft, or the butt crack, and also every social media woman's favorite part, the gluteus sulcus, or the crease under the butt cheeks. It's important to darken the surrounding area in order for her underwear to pop. It's white, but it's still in shadow. As this is the secondary focal point of this drawing, this is also very important to get right. Imagine if we spent all this time working on it and she didn't have a great ass. It would be a failure. With great ass comes great responsibility, and with that, we'll sign it and call it done. You can help me choose an upcoming model. Leave a comment below. Take care, and God bless.